Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Bob, and I'm going to throw you over to the People's Champion eepily to do the rest of this introduction.
Brilliant. Amazing. Yeah, it is it's TFTV. We got some Prem action. We have the ex Nerd Rage roster versus Death and Destruction. Some of these teams have gone by various different names. But I mean you can see the players' names. They're physically on the screen in front of you. And this is actually a week 7 game which is gonna matter quite a lot. This is I'm not stupid, right? This is second versus third seed right now. And considering they're both on very close to equal points, it's pretty much a game to decide who gets second seed going into playoffs.
Yep, definitely does matter. Obviously, seems like TF2Easy, ex Backyard Boys, ex Nerd Rage are most likely locked in. Could be the same for Death and Destruction as well, but you'd have to ask someone who knows better than me if that maths checks out. But yeah, this does have some meaning heading in towards playoffs, which should start next week.
Yeah, and as you can expect, it is week 7 of ETF2L, so we are going to be on the glorious maps of Metalworks in the process with, I don't know, you can have your own opinions on them. Personally, I think Metalworks is just far too many doorways, but I know some people out there do actually really like it, so we'll see whether these teams are big fans in terms of their map knowledge, stuff like that. Little bit kooky though for the side of Death and Destruction, my boy Bum. They got some different players to usual. I'm seeing 2 differences to their usual roster. What are they?
Oh, good question, eepily. Stuffed, who is not usually here, I suppose. I don't think Stuffed has ever played Prem before. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that one. And Fancy on Demo Man as well. Seems like Fancy is going to be an actual replacement for Dagger from what I've heard. Stuffed may or may not be, might just be a merc. I don't know what the situation is on that one. But yeah, 2 players missing for this match, so not ideal for Death and Destruction.
No, but I mean, in fairness, Fancy, big debut to Prem, did obviously previously play with Mandem earlier on in the season. Definitely a significant gamer. Doesn't have quite the same pedigree as Dagger. But then again, I think one of the calling cards of Death and Destruction is apparently just getting through as many demos in the season as possible, because this is their 3rd now.
Yeah, and not demo reviews, because that would be try hard, just cutting as many players as you can, because, I don't know.
Well, cutting players and changing names, that is the Death and Destruction guarantee, What else do you ask for?
You could ask for 6 points from this official to get you the second seed heading into playoffs. We've got Witness Gaming obviously clearly taking the first seed, and then both of these teams are locked into playoffs after I just double-checked the standings now. So yeah, this is all about getting that second seed, and if Death and Destruction can take 1 more point than TF2Easy, if it's a 4-2 result, then they will get second seed, but any less, if they tie or fail to score points tonight, then TF2Easy are going to come in with that second seed in behind Witness.
How realistic do you think it actually is? Like, I feel like, Death and Destruction, they've got some decent gamers, but like they don't have the many Prem winners that TF2Easy has, right? Like, do you genuinely think, Death and Destruction, like they've got a good shout of getting more, like 4+ points here? Because I feel like just on a numbers, like player to player matchup, it would just say TF2Easy all the way.
Yeah, no, there's no chance. I don't think TF2Easy have got this one in the bag. I mean,
you're supposed to be the contrarian.
Every time I always try and find something to say that's positive, but you can just look at these 1-to-1 matchups of every player on the server to their counterpart, and TF2Easy just have the upper hand on all of them. I don't think there's really going to be much to be said here for Death and Destruction. They've had close games and losses to teams much, much worse than this. Stevie Wonders comes to mind at the start of the season. So I don't really think there's a shot, but I'd love them to prove me wrong as we do go live into this first map of Metalworks.
Yeah, this is it. This is going to be ETF2L Season 41, Week 7, tf2easy versus Death and Destruction. Like you say, our first map will be Metalworks. Rolling out here to this first little mid. We do see Nubby going super fast. Huge amount of damage. Fancy lives on 4 HP, gets an arrow. And then unfortunately, Death and Destruction getting the first frag of the mid. Now suddenly backing up all the way towards Valley. Also getting a nice little surf, but down to the rocket of Jiven. So gonna be all on keeping stuffed alive. The Merc medic himself does eat one big old rocket. Gazzy goes in, combining with more Alexian. They're just not quite able to hit these shots just yet. One last little frag from Flick there, and that's a first mid to Death and Destruction.
And Fancy lives to the end of the mid fight after being literally 4 HP the instant he arrived at mid. If that rocket from Nubby does a slight, tiny bit more damage, the mid fight goes the complete opposite way instantly. But as it was, Nubby was high and dry, failed to get his kill, and from there, Fancy just was able to put out all the damage he needed. Everyone was walking across the point. The bombs were nice. They got several people behind from Death and Destruction, and they take that first mid fight. So the Caster's Curse immediately coming in as they move in towards this last with the 100% add.
Yep, left-hand side, Uber's getting used straight to the door. Gun has gone down. They're ready to go all the way behind point, but this heavies up this Pyro as well. It's just basically denied them completely now. The entire combo from Death and Destruction, they're trying to leave. They're taking so much damage. Salenta is just spamming these long-range rockets. Not making this easy. And it's going to be tf2easy. Just trying to walk out now, trying to play a little bit safe. They know all these players are. Salenta's getting that last little frag. Is just even better for them. This is going to be great. They take second. They have this huge advantage. They've got player advantage. They've got basically everything they need. Start moving on to mid here.
Yep, here they move through Valley, just trying not to get forced out here, still bombing forwards, just putting the spam on. He does die to the trap from Fancy, but the more important fact is that the medic keeps the Uber in their pocket, and he's going to get that spawn in 10 seconds. They're going to get mid anyway. Nothing really relevant there from that sticky trap kill. Nubby is going straight in onto Jevon, trying to find a pick here, but just loses his life for it. Moralexi as well is low, gets that bow, but spammed down by both soldiers. Gaz gonna lose his life as well. Just player after player throwing their life away into Death and Destruction here, and they're gonna be able to recap mid.
Yeah, that was really, really aggressive from tf2easy. Feels like, I don't know, maybe they kind of slightly misread things, or they were just really kind of feeling like they could just push forward, but massive, massive overextension, just only getting their scouts up now. And this is Death and Destruction. They're just looking to lock out their second point entirely. Keeping Asboy away from these shutters. Make sure there's not too much spam coming towards point. And yeah, this is going to be tf2easy firmly conceding the second point. Chilling on last. They're getting themselves gun built up. They do have Uber still. It's not the absolute end of the world, but actually just a really, really nice play from Death and Destruction to basically get themselves a big old advantage. And there we go. See, you talk about curses, bum. And we get a pause. Late start into pause. I love me some just TF2, man.
Yeah, Flick typed Fancy lag after the first failed last push, which is classic Flick. If you lose, someone must be lagging or the enemy must be cheating. But yeah, I guess we are waiting to sort out if Fancy was lagging. We might be waiting for him to get back into the server, or this might be a early tack pause after Nerd Rage catastrophically lose this round.
Yep, we'll see. Hopefully it's not going to be anything too absolutely disastrous, you know? Hopefully it's be something which doesn't take too long to fix and doesn't have to result in even more mercs for the side of Death and Destruction. Because that'd be a little bit sad, you know?
Yeah. I don't think that's allowed anymore, right? Unless, I suppose Fancy Wood is rostered, so maybe they're allowed another merc. But I think there's a limit of 2 mercs, so if he's not rostered, that wouldn't be allowed. But we are into the game once again.
Yeah, and as before, obviously with a 90-second delay, the pause didn't happen just then, so we do see just a little bit of poking back and forth. Waiting for the opportunity for either team to go for anything crazy. Right now, tf2easy, they're just happy building their gun up and possibly moving to a fort hold position as soon as everything gets sorted. You can see auto moving front side of point and just keeping it chill.
Yep, and classic sentry gun in the middle of the point, as we see in most last holds in the 21st century. Sil looks like he's on banner, peeking into lobby here, trying to get any of this spam out that he can. He hasn't landed much so far, and Ixie and Matt look ready to take this flank. Ixie is straight onto Moralexi, but that gun and 3 players get him mowed down instantly. Jevon and Matt are both so low, they're going to have to give up lobby entirely here. So Sil might be able to come forwards and get a little bit more spam out, but there's really not much reason to be in this lobby. Nubby looks like he's found an opportunity under. He's been walking, though, all the way, been spotted for a long time, and does get easily picked up without doing damage to anyone. So, once again, we're back on last. This looks like where the disconnect happened. Moralexi just vanished from my screen.
Brilliant, brilliant. There we go. But he's, it's all good. We're back, we're good. And we've got the best part. I mean, I don't know about you, Bum. To me, it's the best part of TF2. It's the sniper versus sniper. Ixie versus Moralexi.
And Ixie immediately shuts down Sil. Usually we see Nubby taking the sniper recently on the side of tf2easy, but looks like Moralexi is back on his sniper grind. They're trying to kind of pressure out with the stickies here, seeing if they can get anyone around this corner or get anyone to peek the gun, but they are just not taking that crucial step in to do it. They put the stickies down, but no one from tf2easy is going to fall into the trap of just walking onto those stickies, of getting scared.
No. It's just going to be basically nothing much happening once again. Same as before, still trying to build up this battalions. So, I mean, if he gets that, they can maybe go for a sack with it. They're not really peeking remotely aggressive with their sniper. They've got no interest in doing anything too much on the side of tf2easy. I guess they're just happy to keep it chill. Death and Destruction, they're kind of fairly passively peeking from shutter. I feel like neither team is feeling too incentivized to do anything much right now.
Yeah, well, this is the problem. There's nothing tf2easy can do, realistically. You just can't decide to push off last, and then there's nothing that Death and Destruction really are doing. They are just, time and time again, Ixie's taking this peek and getting nothing. We need to see something else out of Death and Destruction, or at least when they do get a pick, they need to do something with it. Jevon, this time, going to be the one falling to Moralexi. There's still sticks all over this shutter that need to get cleared, or he's going to take another angle, in fact. Or not. Looks like Nas is just putting up a forward trap, and everyone's going to stay doing exactly the same as they were before, waiting for this respawn to come in.
Right on, right on. That's all good. I mean, well, I don't know. That's a headshot for the logs, I guess. Oh, and that's another one. That's a demo man this time. Fancy goes down a little bit harder. I mean, it is still a map filled with doorways. It's still very much a situation where Death and Destruction can play close because they can trade with this soldier if needs be. But it does open up much bigger opportunity. Moralexi peeking this far left, getting all the way through shutter. Might go for a little deep peek right now, but Nubby's also trying to pressure. Neither looking to hard commit though. Fancy's back up again. He's in position.
They were able to get much deeper off of that demo pick, but unable to really commit to much with those 2 off classes still up. They needed to find another kill with Moralexi taking that deep peek, but in the end, not going to work. So we end up back here on last. 5 minutes left on the round reset.
Calling it early, Bum. Calling it early. But I don't know, maybe.
Calling it early.
Maybe
it's just nothing's really inspired me from what these teams are doing so far to think that it won't happen. I suppose Sil has been slowly and steadily getting this backup up to full. He's going to have it any second now. He just needs to land one more rocket. But even then, it's a tricky one. It's probably not going to be a trade and banner out of last. They'll be looking for something else to happen first before they even utilize this banner.
Yeah, like it's so hard to get all the way through lobby to like catch up to them to get a decent trade anyway. And then it's like, there's so many different flanking routes. Very, very hard. Death and Destruction, I mean, they're moving a little bit... Well, okay, sorry. I take it back. I was going to say they're moving towards the right, looking like they were going to maybe do something. Actually not. They're back on the left. They're still peeking with this sniper. They're still having a good time. At what point, Bum, right? Serious question. At what point do you just go Huntsman, bunny hop through lobby, and just headshot someone? Now,
yeah, I mean, even without Huntsman, right about now, I'd be looking to just get rid of this sniper. You have to try something else. This sniper should just YOLO sack feed for a hero shot and just work something else out, because this is not working. They've known about it for years at this point. No one's going to feed you the free kill, and all you're really doing is running your own clock down and giving Syl this banner bit by bit. So eepily should really just be looking to go in as Moralexi again takes down Jevon, finally gets a second pick off of it, gets eepily down immediately, and this looks like we're going to be able to make a move out of last now for tf2easy. He's still getting shots off Morale from the shutter door, but there's not any ground taken on second as of yet. They're still just throwing in these pot shots. The spawns are here already, and Nubby is going to get caught finally trying to go for something, peeks through that shutter and gets landed on by Matt, and now we're back on last once again.
Yeah, nothing massively achieved here. I don't know, there is actually a lot of spam, a lot of doorways being picked all the way far left. Jevon's managed to get a little bit of damage, trying desperately to get this gun, but not quite getting enough damage to really get a frag or get the gun or really make anything big happen. So that's going to be both teams weathering their respective storms. Jevon does get caught out once again, so it is player advantage still on this sniper though. And yeah, this is 2 minutes 35 seconds for a round reset. Now B is going a bit faster this time. He's going all the way towards low. He's going to be jumping up straight all the way forward. Just gets no real damage towards Stuffed at all though.
Yeah, he does pick the correct positioning of Stuffed this time. Last time he was on the bridge and everything was completely whiffed, but he does understand Stuffed is in that corner, not able to land a rocket either way though. And we are coming up on 2 minutes until a round reset here, and at this point it's genuinely probably better for tf2easy to take the round reset, even if they are gifted a perfect opportunity. Oh my god, there's a drop! Oh, Jevon went sky high, sinks 2 rockets into Auto, who was in the dispenser, and takes that free drop. If this isn't a converted round, I don't know what will be. We need to see Death and Destruction make this one work now. They've got 1 minute 45 to get through here with a full Uber advantage push.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta shout out the fact that Auto is literally crouched inside the dispenser, still died. Doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. Right, come on. Death and Destruction. They're using the Uber all the way on left-hand side. Exact same as before. They're going deep. They're going all the way behind point. There is a battalion's backup on the defense, making it just a little bit harder. Gun has gone down. No more frags for Death and Destruction. And Slenters is on the counter push, getting so much damage. Oh my days. They are just tearing them to absolute pieces right now. That is... Oh, that's a disaster push right there.
No frags and no cap time. That is a disastrous push. eepily already gets pre-fired in the hiding spot. There's no way he's not going to get caught there. And the second is going to get capped up by tf2easy. Finally, we are off last. We were a minute away from the dreaded round reset, but here we are. We're moving once again, and the momentum is all in tf2easy's hands. They've got this 100% advantage still to get into mid. They took it very cleanly last time, did not have to use at all, but Jevon is here to try and stop it this time? No, it's just a fake bomb. He's straight out again.
Well, there we go. Much cleaner take of mid this time around, so all good. Moving towards Valley. tf2easy still has about 30% advantage to work with, so if they want to go, they need to be going really, really quickly. You can see how defensive Stuff's positioning is. He's all the way back on this shutter. tf2easy, they can just take this position, get these early frags. This could be looking pretty good. Stuff is now 97%. Not really in a position yet. They lose that second frag. Death and Destruction, they have no choice but to get back straight to last.
Yep, they're playing so scared, trying to hang on to that Uber, that they're unable to hold the doors. Everyone can just get in for free through those unheld doors and get the frags that are close to them, as you said, which is a perfect way of doing it for tf2easy. They claim this second, and we're back all the way on the enemy half of the map now. Ubers are even. Syl is still rocking this banner that he's had for the entire round since his own last, and we'll see if they are able to get into last using it. He's about 75% on it so far, just getting this spam up. Jevon has his own banner on the other side now as well, And Ixie is trying to copy the sentry spot that worked so well for the enemies.
They've been inspired by the last, 10 minutes of their life. They're like, you know what? Let's just do that on the other side of things. So we will see, yeah, exactly as you say. This forward gun is up. Stuff is still playing far back until they have everything nice and comfortable. So there is technically a little bit of a moment here. Banner does get used. This does try and jump in, but just gets denied entirely by this gun. And ooh, Nubby's just about going to survive. I mean, that's it. They basically got a gun for that.
Yeah, a gun and a dispenser. Don't downplay them.
Sorry.
Oh, Nubby with a nice jump just pops over Fancy's head, gets an unexpected rocket from behind Stuffed, and he just panic uses from that. But the force is out onto auto from Jevon as well. So now the Ubers are both out of the equation. The sentry gun isn't up fully on last yet, though. And the spawn is much longer for Jevon. There could be an opportunity if they can spam this gun down pretty soon, but they look to be just chilling, getting back to second.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's like, you want to get that kind of first round up. You want to, get one on the board, but it's like a one-man advantage with that spawner coming up, and it's Metalworks last, and it's Metalworks in general, so I don't blame them for not going for it on the side of tf2easy, but ultimately, after all that, we're going to be in a pretty similar position once again. This is like a 4% advantage for the side of Death and Destruction, but they seem really, really aggressive with it. They're actually going to be using this Uber. Auto's already got hits. They're backing all the way towards Valley. They're going to be getting a much better Uber right now. They're going to be chasing all the way. Stuff desperately tries to get out main. Surely he doesn't survive. He gets so far, though. He gets all the way out to Shutter, but the other two frags, they're going to be going the way of tf2easy. They're going to be really happy now. 3 frags and all this position. They can take a second just to heal up and try and get all the way in. Yeah, they're getting crushed. Oh, my days. Finally, we see ourselves around.
I don't really know what Death and Destruction expected. Like, sure, you got forced a tiny bit earlier previously, so technically you do have a 5 to 10%, whatever it is, advantage, but you weren't building at all. It's not like the enemy team is going to just not build, and you can hope that they are clueless enough for that 10% advantage to still be a 10% advantage. Like, maybe if you build it super hard yourself, and the enemy builds super hard, you can still get that advantage on them, but if you're not really maximizing it, then obviously the enemy team just has Uber. And here we are into the second mid. Fast bombs across from tf2easy. They both end up behind, and they're all over the map right now. Stuff is still alive, but he's just with Flick, and they are actually cut off from each other. Moralexi can't quite land the shots onto Stuff, and Flick is going to go down eventually. Stuff should just killbind right here. He's 20 health. No way he gets out, and he does get cleaned up in the end by Morale. So the second mid fight going the way of tf2easy this time.
Yep, and this is going to be pretty sizable advantage with Stuff, like you say, dying that late. This is going to end up, well, maybe kind of 25-ish% advantage here for Auto. It actually ends up being about 30. They have mid now. If they start moving really quickly, they can possibly peak towards second, but this is all about building this Uber just as quickly as possible. See how much they can take for free, or whether maybe Death and Destruction might be just a little bit too close when it hits these all-important Uber percentages.
Sil going in for a high jump, kind of fails it. And this time it's Jevon coming right around the corner, straight onto Auto. The first rocket connects, but he's insta-gibbed by Sil. And now that's all of second getting taken for free. Jevon was the single sack they had there on the defense. And there is still a tiny little ad.
They want to go for it. They're going to be going all the way in this time. It's tf2easy getting too aggressive, but somehow, in what is basically an Uber trade, it's Fancy that gets dropped, even trading out Cylinders for it. Not disastrous. With Nubby going down, though, it is going to be tf2easy backing up. Not all that terrible for them, though. They are player down. It's all on whether Nasboy can keep these doors held. And so far, he's doing a pretty good job. There's so much damage on these players. We do see Mathis tries to go all the way in. Just about gets that frag. The spawners are going to be up any second now for these soldiers. And I feel like Death and Destruction, once again, can't quite find what they need.
Yeah, they get Nasboy here, but the momentum is not there anymore. The respawns are in. And it was such nice damage from Nasboy just to keep them out of main. Obviously, the bomb comes onto him from Shutter eventually, but he had all but stalled the point at that point. he was just putting out so much damage onto that main door. Once again, eepily putting up this sentry gun on the floor in front of the point.
Yep, classic little position. We do see some aggressive moves this time for tf2easy. Salentes goes all the way towards left-hand side. One rocket, and then Nubby just gets skyboxed by the sentry.
If ever
Amazing.
NA teams wanted a tutorial on why we have a sentry on every last point, there we go. Just, there's no point of even trying to sack in. It just denies all the airspace for free.
Whoa. How did Ghazi get understopped? That's disastrous. That's just a complete mess. I have no idea how Ghazi got in that position, but it doesn't matter. Now, Fancy's actually locked on this left-hand side. He can't do anything. I mean, get some pipes out, but ultimately, that's just going to be a crumble.
Yeah.
No idea.
No idea. I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you.
Ghazi, dude, sometimes Ghazi just works that bit of magic, you know? Like, we have like 360 POV vision, and yeah, Ghazi still surprises you, so there you go.
Yeah, we're flying over the map and we still don't see where he ends up.
Alright, well, you know, third mid, new me, all that kind of stuff. We're going to be seeing, once again, every soldier in the map just in the skybox. Salentes even hugging Matez in the air. Beautiful stuff, and getting that frag towards Flick, and it's going to be both soldiers for death instruction going all the way down. Ghazi once again on his signature flank, all the way behind them. Going to be trying to catch them out as they try and leave, and the one-shot, two-shot, beautiful stuff there from Ghazi. Once again, getting these all-important frags, and even losing that 1v1 to Scout. Guess what? Doesn't matter, because Auto's going to be coming up on his Uber any second now.
Yeah, that was so nice from Gaz. And, I mean, it is also weird that I think Stuffed was leaving completely on his own, a different way to any other member of his team. But oh well, I mean, I believe Ghazi would have got it anyway.
Yeah. Ghazi's great, also Stuffed was a merc. Definitely a little bit of lack of cohesion from Death and Destruction, you know?
Yeah.
Well, they've got the death part down, definitely.
Yeah, we need to be seeing some destruction sooner rather than later. Jevon going behind does find a little 1v1 with Nubby here, but Nubby, he doesn't even get the trade, even though Jevon got the drop on him. Nubby just embarrasses him there, and Matez is going to go down on second as well. So it's 2 soldiers for the price of 0 and an Ubercharge advantage for tf2easy here. They're running it straight down the left lane immediately. Morale is already onto point before they've even had to pop. The sentry gun's not even looking at him. Now the Uber is in, but they haven't really found any frags with it. Matez is going to respawn any second now, and they actually don't get anything at all with that Uber.
No, you could see tf2easy was really, really aware of how close Stuff was going to be to his own Uber. So the second they didn't get anything early, they were just immediately backing up like, we will not get caught by this. We do see Nubby overstaying his welcome, possibly trying to go for a little bit of a flank there. Uber's actually getting used. Fancy jumps deep all the way towards house. They're not going to catch the medic. Actually going to be losing one. It does get traded out at least for Ghazi, so second will be in control of Death and Destruction. It's not going to be too bad for them. But once again, we're facing down the barrel of a big Uber disadvantage, about 60% right now. And it's going to be just about prime time for tf2easy to start moving forward.
Yep, tf2easy coming up into alley here, ready to try and utilize this advantage. Still, wide bombs around that corner. Jevon doing the same thing again as last time and immediately gets taken down for it. But there's 3 players. They're committing everyone for it this time. The force is out, but it's a 5-man sack. Mattis is going to get found here any second now on the point. He does get balled in the back of the head to take him down, and Stuffed has already died as well. That is terrible. Death and Destruction, 6-man sacking for a force? That is not worthwhile, my friends, and the 3rd round comes in inevitably.
I love the optimism, and like, you've got to desperately think that wasn't the plan, because yeah, that is not a value trade right there. That is optimism to the nth degree. But you know, sometimes you just gotta try and make things work. All right, less than 7 minutes now on the clock. 3-round advantage for tf2easy. We're going to need Death and Destruction to kick it up a good few notches right now. They're trying to get more aggressive on this mid. Fancy really, really hard taking this left-hand position all the way towards point. Soldiers are landing towards them. If you manage to secure this first frag, Fancy just keep on going. He's only got a W key. He's walked into 3 players so overly aggressive. And now it's going to be just both scouts and stuff trying to get themselves out on this mid. And Nubby's already on the flank, dealing so much damage just with these rockets. Nubby's in
Oh my god.
almost
But the
the perfect
rollers,
position.
Stuffed can't walk out because those Iron Bomber rollers just stop immediately in the doorway. Nasboy shooting the exit. Stuffed either has to stay in and die or walk over the rollers and die. And he picks the second one. So, again, 100% mid-fight, 100% Uber advantage off the mid-fight, rather, for tf2easy.
Yeah, they can be very happy with that. Once again, moving towards Valley as well. I mean, it's just a nicer position. No sane team in the world is going to go towards house in these situations. We do see Jevon going for his bomb, continuing to not really find any great success with it. He does at least trade out his death, so it's not too bad. And right now, we're seeing Death and Destruction just want to basically stay as far forward as physically possible, and they're going to get punished for it. Fancy's already gone down. This Uber's been used. They're chasing them all the way main. Moralex's just hitting basically every shot right now, and yeah, this is just absolute crunch. There's going to be nothing they can do. 4th round, guaranteed in the hands of tf2easy. And I feel like Death and Destruction were just like, look, we're round down. We just got to make something happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was 6 minutes. There's 3 rounds they have to get. It had to be pretty much from there on out just non-stop rounds for them. They had to play it as aggressively as possible, and it didn't work out. And that is the end of map 1, pretty much, and the end of Death and Destruction's dreams for 2nd seed at the end of this season. So it looks like they're locked into 3rd now, because they will be getting 0 points from this map. But we're playing out the rest of the time anyway. 4 minutes to go.
I mean, you know, a lot of opportunities to hit air shots and get ego building rounds, you know. Going into another map after this, so there's definite opportunities for Death and Destruction to feel a little bit better about themselves, you know. Maybe get themselves a sympathy round or 2, maybe even a sympathy map. We do see, after all of that, I mean, Death and Destruction just won that mid pretty handily, so they've just been doing that all game.
Yep.
Just that
but,
easy.
I mean, we did see a mid-fight win for them at the start, and it was followed by about 13 minutes of not knowing what to do on Metalworks last, so we'll see if they have figured it out from the first time around, and it seems like their solution this time is a little gun called the Kritzkrieg.
I mean, it's a good solution, especially in these situations where ultimately you are still on this map to get some kind of frag clip. So we're going to be seeing exactly that. Stuff is 98%. He's got his Kritzkrieg on Fancy. Crit has been used. We're trying desperately to get frags, and we're getting none. We get 0. We're getting 0 frags.
Jevon went for a sack at the same time onto Auto. Didn't get that kill either. The sentry gun shut him down perfectly. And it looks like there might be an incoming wipe for Death and Destruction. Just Matt left on the health pack. Nasboy's going to chase him down. Still gets the frag in the end. And there we go.
Good effort, you know. Good effort. They went for the bigger play, and I think that's always an acceptable decision. Now, tf2easy, like you say, they've got this round in the bag. So, well, I was going to say they were going to keep on moving forward. They're actually kind of standing still because Ghazi did spend the last 3 minutes on NG, and he seemed a little bit reluctant to change off. You know, like he just kind of wanted to keep it going.
I'll permit him to play NG a little bit longer if he wants to. He can do it.
I think his team shouted at him. I don't think that's fun. God, what are they like?
Alright, well, the storyline of this game has changed. We're no longer trying to see if Death and Destruction have any chance to take the 2nd seed, but we want to at least see some kind of resistance from them. We want them to be able to show that they have some chance of winning come playoffs. But so far in this map, we haven't seen anything that inspires me that much into thinking that they can manage it. So we'll be coming up on Process next to see if they can put up a better performance there. They can always get some points, and that would give me a better reason to trust that they can manage this comeback in the inevitable rematch that is coming in playoffs a few weeks from now.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, you know, the rematch as well will be best of 3, and it'll actually have like map picks and bans instead of, you know, the ETF2L gods preordaining who who you get to play on certain maps. So might be that we can find Death and Destruction on something a little bit more favorable for them. And I mean, I'm not going to blame them for not being particularly comfortable on Metalworks. So I'm hoping Process might be a little bit better, especially because, like, Process is just that map in TF2 where everyone's played it 400,000 times, If there's a map to be comfortable on, it's probably Process.
Yeah, no one's that comfortable on Metalworks, even though it's been around about a year in Europe at this point. It still was not there for about 30 seasons before that, so it's still relatively new enough. It's still one of those maps that has the chance of being swapped out at any given time. It's not the most European staple. So yeah, they should have a better chance on Process. Hopefully. Asterisk.
I've just been watching Fancy on the lamp spot above last. Just watching tf2easy capping the point. And then they just capped the point. And it was like, good. That's the issue with that spot. Sometimes, it's a long way to fall. Whatever. That's a 5-0 tf2easy, kind of nuked there. Even with that little bit of back and forth to begin with. Yeah, after that round, it was just all momentum all the time. All tf2easy. I'm sure there are even going to be some numbers on your screen about it, but I feel like they're going to be quite depressing numbers. Because, I mean, it was a 5-0. It was a 5-0. Anything weird standing out for you, Bum, or was it just a 5-0? No one cares.
My honest take when it comes to logs just overall is no one cares, but yeah, this is it's a 5-0 no one cares log. Moral Exy obviously doing a very nice scout KD, as we so often see, but I mean there's nothing really to say in the logs here. It was like what you'd expect from a game that had a 13-minute stalemate and then was a roll.
Ghazi played 11 minutes of Engineer.
Yeah.
So, good game. There you go. Those are the numbers. Throw them now. Crunch up the paper. Throw them straight in the bin. We don't need them where we're going, because we're going to go Process. Now, Process, classically a map which everyone's like, cool. Favors scouts a lot. Like most maps, but even more so than some, right? We did see some signs of life from certain players, such as Ixie and Flick. What do you feel about this scout matchup, Bum? Do you think there's any world in which you would favor Flick and Ixie versus Ghazi and Moralexi?
No.
No?
Next
no
question.
world ever. Next question.
I
Damn.
mean, yeah, no. It's not like it's the biggest scout diff we've ever seen, it's not like they are the Thomas and Tiger of Prem at the moment. It's not like they are miles and miles and miles ahead, but they're miles and miles ahead, Just not that third set of miles.
No. Yeah, I mean, I understand where you come from. I dig that.
How about you? Do you disagree with me?
I really want to, but it's just, I don't know. It's like, I'm looking at some of these players and it's like, I really want to favor Death and Destruction on just any of these matchups, but it's just that kind of Prem season. I mean, I'm going to shout out Death and Destruction for not being like 25% of Prem and folding, right? So the fact that they've not folded at any point means instantly they've won my heart. Any Prem team which doesn't fold like 3 weeks into the season, instantly I'm just like, good on you guys. I love you.
That's true. And the fact that they folded last season, so
they're
congratulations. They're doing better than last time.
Someone give them a little award like you've lived longer than your previous best.
7 weeks.
7 weeks. Congratulations. And by that, in Prem, it's all about the hot take. Prem is basically a battle royale. If you survive like long enough, if you just stay alive, right, and just mind your own business, you can basically make playoffs, right?
Yeah.
You can get pretty close.
Like this team probably would have been beaten by Yak's team to playoffs had Yak's team not folded. So literally what you have to do is the literal stand and hide in a bush of TF2 seasons recently. You just have to make it to the final 5.
Just like that, you know. Didn't we have a Prem season like this? This would have been like a few years ago, but I swear we had one where like 3 teams folded, and it's and like there was he still had 4 teams make playoffs. So there
Yeah.
was just one really sad team just being like,
Yeah.
everyone else gets to have fun but us.
And given the fact that when teams fold, it reverses all their points, so they probably even got screwed over by the other guys dipping out and losing points off them. They might have even deserved the playoff slot and got it stolen away from teams folding.
I've been informed it was season 35. That is incredible knowledge to have off the top of your head. Holy crap. Incredible. Right. We're loading in the process, which I forgot. Now, right, Bum, do you know more about this whole refresh project? Why, after these refresh versions are processed, does my game break whenever we go to process? What's up with that?
Well, I remember my game also broke on one of these versions. It was that they used the wrong version of a rock model from Viaduct or something, and then if you'd played on a different map before loading into this process, you'd just instantly die? Or something like that. But, yeah, I guess there are a couple of problems
so stupid,
with each like refresh map. You get pinged by Supra daily if you're in the ETF2L Discord saying to use a different refresh version than the one they're already using.
Like, I'm not against the whole refresh thing at all, right? I think, you know, there are genuinely some really dumb aspects of map which, like, you know, are great to change, like stuff like random tiny bits of geometry and like little bits of fence which, like, you know, ruin soldiers' life. Like, that's absolute like big fan of that. The one thing which I cannot possibly understand is the fact that you make the map, right? You then make it CP map name F5 because it's like refresh, like F5, good meme. And then the next version you have is F6. Like, you've ruined your joke instantly. Don't understand it, Bum. Explain it to me. Make it make sense.
I see. I get it now. Right. I think it's because eepily when they change it, the number goes up by 1. It's
Yeah, but surely you'd make it like F5A, F5B, F5C, because otherwise you're ruining the F5 joke.
Are you sure there wasn't an F1 to 4 before the
Absolutely
F5 version?
certain. Absolutely certain. This is right. Now, Prem players, if you want to shut me up, this is why you start your games quicker. You know, if you can't handle these facts, this is why you got to start games speedy.
Yeah, and get rid of garbage time.
That could also be a thing. All right. At least we do have 12 players on the server. They're looking like they're probably going to get ready to go. And we've just seen a 5-0, right? Let's not predict about who's going to win because we've already given our opinions on that. How hard is the win going to be? I'm gonna look at it optimistically. How strong of a win do you think this is going to be for tf2easy? Is it going to be another 5-0?
It's going to be another 5-0. We only really saw Death and Destruction in the lead once off of a mid fight that they barely won, and after that it was just they seemed completely clueless as to what to do. Whereas every time tf2easy were in the lead, we were only a few minutes away from a round happening in the next mid fight, and tf2easy winning that mid fight as well. So I didn't see anything to make me feel any other way for Death and Destruction in that first game, other than this is going to be a 5-0 for TF2Easy. I think there's a very big gulf between the top 2 and the rest of the teams this season. And the rest of the teams this season are, or were, very, very close to each other. All 6 of them were pretty much able to trade with one another, but I don't think any of them are really capable of touching these top 2 we've got here.
I will say, like, massive shout out to Forcings, who have been really, really surprising me this season. Like, I didn't pay too much attention to them in like the early part of the season, but they've had really, really impressive results. And like, even in the warm up versus TF2Easy, I think they took both maps like within a round. And granted, yeah, it's just warm ups, it's just scrims, it's like whatever. But I think those guys have been very impressive this season. But here we go. So, second map once again. This is our Week 7 game, Death and Destruction versus tf2easy. Starting off here on Process. Map 1 was a little bit of a blur in the end, as Death and Destruction kind of got pummeled into the dirt, so they could be hoping to put on a much better performance. We do see all soldiers fast right now. Mathes gets a lot of damage towards these players. Somehow, Talentes and Nasboy, neither of them managed to go down. Early position can kind of be taken, but right now, Death and Destruction, they're all towards this little corner. They do manage to take down Salentes. Force the rest of these players all the way out. It's once again actually going to be an early mid-win for the side of Death and Destruction.
Yep, right at the end there, Sil was just bombing from about 30 health. I don't know whether he got damaged just before he bombed or whether he was expecting an arrow before he bombed or something, but yeah, he was just going to get picked out the sky by pretty much any stray shot. So at the end of it though, Nubby just comes in and gets stuffed. 2 synced rockets right over his team's head through that door in sewer and immediately takes stuff down. That is not a mistake you can be making.
No, that is absolutely brutal. It wasn't even like any kind of crazy jump there from Nubby. He just jumped around and just no one was looking. And they're even getting a late frag towards Jevon there as well. So this is going to be mid. That, you know, perfectly fine for tf2easy. They've got this huge Uber advantage. There's only one soldier to be looking at. They're going to see him all the way on rollout. So this should be so easy. Walking all the way forward. Make sure no one gets caught by any kind of sticky trap. And basically, tf2easy, they should just be moving straight to last.
Yeah, and they already are doing exactly that. Morale's peaking, finds the gun. They've got this Uber ready to go. Nas going to be leading it forwards. Guns down immediately. Already some point play from Moralexi. He's cleared the stickies. It's 50% cap. He does die for it, but they found Fancy and Jevon already. Gaz is just dancing around by the spawn door. Sil has found his way onto Stuff. Gaz still isn't dead, but oh, Stuff just gets the respawn bind in time to not get taken down by Gazzy there. I have no idea how he lived so long on the spawn door. Nubby is going for a last-ditch back cap attempt, but no chance of that happening. And Death and Destruction managed to hold that one at bay. They do have their Uber in their bag as well.
Yeah, this is actually pretty solid hold there in the end. Uber once again. Going to be big advantage. The Stuffed. We do see Moralexi sniping very, very defensively, but very, very scary sniper once again. Only now does Jevon start moving forward to be able to pressuring him out. There's a little bit of time wasted here for tf2easy. It's going to be all about them trying to get this last 15% of their Uber. And it looks like they actually might be able to get this on second. Yeah, you can actually see Death and Destruction. They're moving all the way towards Choke. Oh, they're just using all the way through. They're desperately trying to get through, but just Uber's going to come out again. This is going to be so scary. Surely no way Stuff gets out.
No, he's caught on the way out. Matt is in from behind and Jevon in from ahead. They do double up to find that medic kill to kind of equalize things, and Gazzy does kind of whiff his move and get stuck on that wall there. Ixie in from behind, going to be cleaning up the rest of the frags. Just Nubby versus 2 low scouts. Shoots 2 upward attempts at them, just empties his whole clip. Why not? Don't even bother jumping them.
It's like Soldier Class in 2022. Like, I'm not even going to bother jumping scouts. It's actually over. Somehow lives though, right? Somehow lives.
It's just
from
penguin waddles out of there.
Incredible. Incredible.
All right, but here we go. We've got Death and Destruction in control of the game. Ubers are roughly even. They're not up yet, so there is opportunity to kind of dry push here if they want to. They are putting pressure onto 5. They got the gun down immediately. Found that Nubby pick by baiting him into bombing them. This could be something here for Death and Destruction. They're ready to take 5 once again. Gazzy has rocket jumped into them, but he's going to get peppered down by Flick. The bomb is in from Jevon.
They're feeding! Like, tf2easy just feeding into them. I don't know. They're too high in their own supply right now. That was just very, very over the top. Death and Destruction basically just got to walk in there. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Gaz went for his little frag movie play, and it did not work. And then everyone else trying to shut down that 5 push, just bombing their lives away one by one, as you said. So, Death and Destruction, they get around. I didn't expect it. And Sil changes up this mid-fight, goes ultra fast, ends up behind. They've already got a frag onto Ixie, and there's really no position for Death and Destruction at all. They're all caught outside sewer here, or outside IT rather, and they all just go down one by one. No casualties for tf2easy. They're trying to chase this, but Stuffed and Flick are way out already.
Yeah, but we went to spawn. In fact, they're just going to be trying to get this Uber, trying to get these spawns up, which they will be getting in just a couple seconds. But with no gun, this is actually a little bit of an opportunity for tf2easy if they wanted to start getting a bit aggressive. But I'm not feeling the pressure just yet. They know ultimately it's going to be very difficult to counter stuff until he starts getting a bit more of an aggressive positioning. So only now they're taking Nobby.
The sack is in, and the level 1 just pins Nubby to the ceiling. Sil does get onto Stuffed, and he gets the second rocket in through the spawn door, gets that onto Stuffed, and now it's 100% advantage. Matt is trying to do what he can to reclaim second, but there's really not much to be done here. eepily was taking the angle for a while as well, but just has to back out eventually. They need to get this gun up. That's the bigger priority here. 100% advantage for Auto.
That's insane. I cannot believe from like what seemed like such a scuffed little sack there, they get that frag. But I mean, doesn't matter how it happens. It happens. Uber's getting used all the way through 4, flashing absolutely everyone. That early stuff is going to do nothing. He's changing off immediately. We do see Morlexi once again getting a lot of time towards point. Stuff has gone down, so it's going to be just so easy for tf2easy. Beautiful round there, equalizing things.
Yep, well played from tf2easy. Again, Morale just has to clear one stick, and he's playing the point immediately, gets it up to more than halfway before he really gets pressured, and then anyone else can just step onto the point and get it over and done with, because no one is really able to get out of those spawn doors after tf2easy lock them in. So, third mid-fight, we've had one each so far. We'll see how this one ends up, as the fast bombs are across from Nubby and Sil now. Nubby ends up behind this time instead of Sil. And the bombs as well from Jevon and Matt coming forwards. No casualties yet for either side, as Jevon does finally go down, trades it out for Nubby. Auto has been kind of forced out of this mid-fight. He's stuck inside his own sewer. There's really no position at all for tf2easy. Gaz is the only one actually in the fight right now, taking this 1v1 versus eepily, but the backup is in, and Death and Destruction eventually eke them out.
Yeah, another mid where, I mean, it is a win for Death and Destruction. Not super clean, but they did just kind of weather the storm. We do see Mathes jumping all the way in. Wants to get this big old sack. Nice surf from Auto. Ultimately, they're not going to be getting any more from that. And now, ooh, sorry, that's Nubby getting really aggressive towards Choke. They've managed to get 2 frags here. They're actually getting so much position towards Choke. Jevon jumping in seems really optimistic. Just about living based on the pack there. But you can see so much space. They just basically walked in all the way from tf2easy. It's really hard. Like, if Death and Destruction lose any frags, it's going to be really tricky to trade. And you can just see they just keep getting forced further and further back. They're not committing for this trade. Just trying to weather the storm just a little bit. I don't know. It's going hard, and Nubby just bombs in. Gets the drop, and that's going to be it. Even Salenta's getting the air shot. That is just... oh, it's sad.
Yeah, it's sad. I'm not really sure why the drop is necessary. You don't need to be this scared of taking a trade in that situation. It's not one of those situations where you need to hold on to your Uber. You need to make the enemy team use first under any circumstance. Like, you have control of the midpoint. It's absolutely fine to be trading just to block it and get the Ubers out of the way, especially if your alternative is dropping. But here comes the Uber into last. Sentry gun down immediately. Morale clearing the stickies immediately. Matt into block. Both soldiers, in fact, into block, but they're on the low ground and get taken down. 2 for 2 now. Stuffed still nowhere near that Uber, so both teams have one half of last, and Nubby takes it forwards with his bomb, but there's just no backup there. Eventually, it's Nasboy, the last man standing in 5, has to 1v3 his way through this. Ixie's not quite hitting the shots, but it'll get taken down eventually. Fancy with the roller to clean it up.
Oh, that's so sad. More likely just gets that one pick. That's all he needs. Just waiting down the early sniper spawn, and it's just like, goodbye, stuff. Goodbye. Once again, the second anything's looking good, I was about to praise them for how solid, you know, that adaptation was in terms of that last hold, but then they're getting a little bit of the basics right now. They're going to find themselves losing second, and with a 30% dis-add, it's going to be another opportunity for tf2easy.
Yeah, and there's a lot of mistakes from Stuffed, and it almost seems like tf2easy know he's the weak point at this point. Just earlier I saw Nubby again almost like cockily trying to abuse the fact that Stuffed could be just stood too close to the choke and trying to sink bomb over Death and Destruction's head onto the medic again. And it seems like a deliberate choice to be trying to go for those frags as they've worked so many times already. And here comes the 100% Uber advantage into last. Jevon gets taken down immediately. No early point presence this time, but Nas is doing so much damage in so deep, and Nubby gets a nice jump onto everyone's head, but the damage is so split, and everyone has had to back out. Only Nubby left in 5. Once again, Death and Destruction managed to hold on at the end of that fight.
Yeah, it definitely feels, I mean, it's good rotations from Death and Destruction, but also does feel like it's a little bit scuffed.
Here comes
on the side of tf2easy. Yes, Lentes is trying to get in. Gets like a little bit of damage. Not enough though. Nubby with the follow-up. He goes all the way towards Rollout. He does have the pain train, I believe, so he wants to get a little bit of time towards last. Does he just do it? Oh my, you cannot let that happen, man.
It's the fact they all ignore him as well. Like, they saw it happening and they were just kind of like, it'll be fine.
Like, what's he gonna do? Like, you know he runs pain train in those situations. You know he does. God damn, man.
All right, well. Oh, that was very synchronized.
That was good. That was good. Go on, bum.
All right, well, Nubby, first one to die on this mid-fight, and instantly Jevon abuses it, gets in so deep, tries to block off their exit. This allows them to chase through choke straight away, getting in deep, but they're not finding any more frags other than the Silentes they just found, and takes this opportunity to go all the way through IT, try and block the mid capture. He has the pack on his side on the 1v1 as well to win this 1v1 out against Ixie probably. Everyone, he's dragging everyone back, in fact. Just, they all have to come back to mid for Gaz, and that's good enough in itself.
Yeah, good effort, good effort. I mean, it's like if you block the mid, great. If you know, get the frag, great. If you delay them, that's also just basically great. It is going to be equal Ubers. You can see the high ground position. Nubby doing his little sync bombs towards Choke, getting some good damage. No frags just yet, but how aggressive Fancy's getting. He's not got the beam connected him. He's so weak. So many of these players are weak, actually. Somehow, Death and Destruction haven't just been crushed just yet, but neither has an Uber actually been traded. You can see Morlexi just wants to keep on playing with this beam. Surf does come out. Uber does come out right now. Stuff is finding himself basically with no players. He's backing all the way to Choke now. They're 3 down. They've just got to leave, and once again, he's getting caught. That is scuffed.
Yeah, Stuffed was the furthest forwards out of the 3 of his team members alive when he had to use. He was pretty much running backwards with the Uber just to try and find someone to use it on. At that point, he still ends the Uber as the furthest one forward, so does obviously get caught on the end of that 50% advantage now, and mid capped up for tf2easy. Matt hiding in the forward spawn on Soldier might try and see what he can do, but it's not really the best forward spawn for doing a funny play like this. He does open up the door now, just put some spam in. He knows he's not going to get anything other than that, and he back spawns.
Yeah, nothing there. So Uber, again, in the hands of Auto. They can be going all the way through forward, jumping deep to get this gun. We'll be trying to clear some of these sticks towards point. Morlexi playing again. Both these soldiers from side of Death and Destruction. It's actually Fancy going down early, though. That's going to make things so much harder. Stuff's gone down as well, so this should be nice and clean if they just play the heals on the side of tf2easy. It is 3 versus 3. They just need to keep beaming up. Play just a little bit slowly. We do see a great bomb round from Mathis, though. Does manage to get Nubby. Manages to get Morlexi as well. And actually, combining under Auto again. That is such a crazy hold from them.
Yeah, that really shouldn't have been theirs, but the healing kind of in lobby was just too slow, I suppose. They were in there for a long time out the fight, and Matt just finds all 3 of them with pretty much 2 rockets between all of them, so a really good job from him to keep his team alive. I do also want to quickly say that Gazzy killed Fancy with the ball on that last push, so already the Christmas ball meta is having a lot of value.
It's such a stupid weapon, dude. It's such a dumb weapon. Love to see it. But yeah, we have Stuff. It's about a 30% advantage. Going to be coming up on his Uber any second. Nubby, like you said, very confident sniper, and he is playing sniper in this situation. Uber's actually going all the way into PC at this point. They're trying to get control of second, but in doing so, they're playing this a little bit slowly. They will walk through. They will get it for free, but yeah, with that tiny little bit of delay, Auto's already going to have his Uber, so we're going to find ourselves equal once again.
Yep, Jevon gets immediately destroyed in lobby. Gaz is on Pyro already, maybe looking for a little rocket he can reflect jump off and get a funny movie moment.
Oh, good effort, Salentes. You gave it a go, buddy.
That's all you can ask for at the end of the day. Whoa. Morale catches a pipe in lobby, nearly gets taken down there.
Yeah, it would be a little bit hard. Obviously, with the way that tf2easy is playing right now, with the Pyro and the Sniper, it's actually kind of difficult. They don't have a gun, and they're actually really feeling the pain of it now. Jevon got this great position behind them, got so much damage, forced off the Uber, and now there's going to be basically, I was going to say no chase. Oh my god, that could have been scary. Gazzy doesn't get those frags though. They take a second. A breather is required for death and destruction, but they've actually bought themselves such an opportunity.
Yeah, this is kind of the culmination of Josh theory that ex-Nerd Rage have used on this last for so long, where you kind of have a Pyro and a Sniper and forego the sentry gun. But that is just the living proof of why the sentry gun is so great in the first place. They were able to flood in through every door there. The pressure from all sides just makes Auto have to use. And now we'll see if Death and Destruction can convert this full ad push. As of yet, it doesn't look great. They've got no damage in at all. Jevon has just gone down. The sticks are blown though, and there is a scout on the cap. Sil is going to be the first casualty for the side of tf2easy. Nasboy just able to resupply in time to keep himself alive here, but there's just no progress being made. Bit by bit, the war of attrition is coming out on top for tf2easy.
Obviously, you know, we're privy to very, very different information than some of these players, but I actually think they could have played this point a little bit harder there. The scout kind of ducked off of it, really wasn't pressured that hard. I feel like they might be getting just a little bit jittery with some of these advantages. Like, this is still very, very winnable for Death and Destruction. They've been looking much better.
I completely agree, and even then there was a second scout right next to the point who could have hopped on if there was pressure, but Ixie has taken the peak now. Ooh, I believe Auto did cross. That was tricky. They need to get someone on Ixie though. They do finally get that forward spawn locked off, and Auto is safe for now. So that is a disaster averted for tf2easy. Still have this advantage. They're going to take it close. They're coming in through IT. Just going to force them out, not use the Uber there. Nice selection of where to go based on how much Uber charge advantage you have. And now they maintain a little bit for last, but I don't think it's really good enough. We'll see how big they think it is, but it looks like they're already slowing down. It looks like this might be a sack.
Yep, Salentes going all the way towards the left-hand spawn. And this time, Stuffed is making the correct decision of being very, very far inside spawn. It's been like, no, not this time. Not this time.
Pre-fire that reset bind 3 seconds before you think you need it.
Just in case, you know, just in case.
Alright, we've got Flick on Sniper in lobby, taking an angle towards... Oh, there's a Nubby landing on top of his head. That's going to force him off back to last.
Yeah, I mean, they're just trying to get set up. This gun's not actually up yet. We do see, I mean, Nubby tried to go in. I think Nasboy just got caught by a random sticky trap. And yeah I guess that's just tf2easy having to back up a little bit. This is actually quite difficult. They're missing 2 really important spam classes. They're still trying to play close as if they do want to go for some kind of trade, but you can see how much position is being taken from Death and Destruction. This is tricky.
Yeah, especially when Auto has no one to heal and he's just kind of locked down behind here because there could be a sniper in one. He doesn't know where this sniper is as of yet, but he was in lobby, got forced back to last now, and everything seems to be fine for tf2easy. And I really like what they tried to do there. They heard the NG shout packing up, and immediately you see Nasboy in a position to lay down covering fire and Nubby sacking. Obviously it didn't work out because Nubby gets immediately destroyed and Nasboy kind of gets juggled in, but it was a nice attempt, and just I'm talking about that, both demos get sniped.
That was actually perfectly synced. Both demos getting a headshot. That was actually incredible. And in all of this, right, just to add to some of just the weirdness, we do have Salentes on Spy as well, you know? Just just living his best life, doing whatever. I'm liking this, the old sniper spy on the aggressive. Because, I mean, in Venice, teams kind of stop counting after one off class sometimes, They just go, well, they have a sniper. What can you do?
Nubby gonna be falling, which is kind of good for them. I mean, this makes the med move out of the dispenser, which is kind of into a position where Sil actually has a chance to do something. He does go for the uncloak, and Stuffed's back is right there, man. Easy drop for Silentes. 100% advantage immediately gifted to Auto.
Yeah, very, very well timed there from Silentes, and his team's going to be reaping the benefit any second now. They got to take just a moment. You wait for their buffs to dissipate. Silentes will be up any second, so now it's going to be all on Auto getting his players buffed. Trying to go for a slightly more successful last push. They are obviously still one round ahead, but the last pushes have been looking a little bit dodgy here. They kind of end up losing frags and not finding too much success other than playing a little bit the point, so see if they go for anything different.
Yeah, the sentry is in a weird spot, which kind of throws them off for just a second, and they're unable to get any cap time as of yet. The Flick Heavy is a new addition as well. That's going to be mowing people down. Just Gaz on the back lines, last person in last. Everyone else has really retreated, but that's not going to go too well. He does get stuffed, but the last push is no more, and second is already going to be capped.
Yeah, again, every time there's a little bit of success, they do find themselves losing an all-important player such as Stuffed, and now this is tf2easy. They're looking to try and take an immediate repush here, just based on the fact that they have their heals up and ready to go. Buffs in their hands, heals ready to go, frag there from
Getting
Silentes.
Flick means a lot there, given the already big advantage in terms of Uber. They just need to leave Ghazi to cap this up, really. There's going to be one off class that's not here until the end of the fight, which is very, very nice as soon as they can get this gun down. Although Flick does spawn now, they're just a millisecond too late as the big fat man gets his 450 in the spawn door. But they're just playing the point so much. They got both frags onto the soldiers. No one can block that point if they just start playing the corner again now. And in fact, they're just going to go for all the kills instead. They are getting all the damage in. Both the red players have to retreat into lobby and they can all converge on the point. So nicely played from tf2easy. No matter which way they tried to play that last, it was always going to come out on top, it seemed like.
Yeah. Definitely feel like there was a real moment in that last push where there was like, oh, let's just frag them. Like, forward to the point thing, let's just frag them. And yeah, that instruction, they were definitely in a position which just allowed that to happen. So 7 minutes 20 left on the clock, 3-1 here. tf2easy are looking pretty happy to be taking away 6 points in this official, but that instruction, they still should have something to say for it. We do see these soldiers going deep behind for tf2easy. They're not quite moving across right now, but frags are looking good. That's a great little bomb there. Jeevan picking up Auto right now. Players are trying to get onto Stuffed, but he's going to be weathering the storm as well, and that's actually looking pretty good. The pipe onto Nasboy right at the end, even better.
Yeah, and this map is absolutely still winnable. There could be some points coming out of this official for D&D after all. This is the way that you'd like to start it. 100% advantage for Stuffed. But as you've been saying, the last pushes haven't been ideal for either team so far in this map, but even more so for Death and Destruction, I'd say. There have been a lot of misses coming into this last, and we'll see. We'll see as they get another opportunity.
Yeah, it's going to be 3 this time. They try to get on through. Fancy gets pretty denied, so can't even get too far in with the beginnings of this Uber. Now it has faded. We do see Flick playing towards the point, and he's just going to get Reflect rocketed down. This is looking very, very comfortable. Soldiers do jump around, try and salvage something. Do get onto Auto. Not enough rockets there for Jeevan, though. And this is going to be, yeah, such an easy hold for the side of tf2easy. And Nubby's even on the flank all the way towards Show. Gets so much damage and even picks up Stuffed right at the very end.
Just that last little rocket, just able to scratch stuff down right at the very end. Good job from Nubby. And that just really cements tf2easy's lead here on this map. Not only this 100% ad, but the enemy medic isn't even up yet. This should be ending up at least on Death and Destruction's last if tf2easy can pull this off. There's a lot of sacks coming in to try and deny this choke. both soldiers and Ixie ending up very, very close. Matt has somehow managed to survive throughout this entire fight, but will be going down now, so it's 3-man sack for absolutely no value as of yet. They've got 2 kills, but no force, and this Uber advantage is just going to keep on rolling. They're even able to deny every forward spawn by stacking the midpoint there. So good choice from tf2easy. They're going to get second for free and still have this advantage into last.
Yeah, it's going to be getting pretty down to the wire, though, once they get this cap. It's going to be a brave thing to go for. Stuff is on 80% already. Oh, and yeah, they lose Nasboy. Well placed stickies there from Banty, and that's just going to put a hold on this last push. But I mean, tf2easy, they're 2 rounds ahead. There's 4.5 minutes left to go. They don't really have to push last anymore if they don't want to. This is all on death and destruction to just make something happen.
Yeah, and Nubby could just stop them right here as the Uber does come in. Nubby and Sil both end up above them. Gaz has managed to take down the sole player on last. Ixie's there now to try and stop him. Does get 2 nice meat shots onto Gaz to immediately shut down that back cap attempt, but the Uber is still running in through 2.
They're finding a little bit of success. Not really combining on the right players, and it's actually now, just as I say that, 2 frags down. This is going to be Nasboy trying to get out along with Auto, and a real opportunity for Jevin to try and catch them here. Great stuff there. It's actually Ixie getting that frag, even trading out. It's not the worst thing in the world. Oh, but Gazi's kind of on a tearaway. Jesus.
Yeah, during all that as well, Nubby was on the perfect timing rolling out, just landed on top of Stuffed in rollout and got those 2 rockets onto him. Moral now on last against a lone fancy elf, and he's not able to do anything. So there we are, 4-1. I believe that should seal the deal of 6 points going the way of tf2easy, kind of what we expected to see here. There might technically still be time, question mark, asterisk, one of those little crucifix things as well, to see if there can be a comeback for at least a golden cap point, but I seriously doubt it.
Probably not, but you have got me thinking, what are those little things called?
Yeah.
If anyone knows, fax me. Fine, I'm from the 90s. Yeah, this is one more ego-building mid-fight. I mean, these have been some pretty decent mids for side of Death and Destruction. The follow-up here is not fantastic, comparatively. But at the same time, I feel like they kind of know similarly to us that it's basically over. So this is just them flexing their muscles a little bit, you know? I mean, technically, any frags here, it was in a top Prem official, so.
Yeah, I mean, that Gazi versus Flick exchange I just saw was definitely a top Prem interaction if I've ever seen one.
Top Prem! Scout class. Right. Are they gonna 5-1? Are they gonna 5-1 here? I feel like right now, tf2easy's like, you know what? Let's just get more rounds. Let's just get more rounds. Let's just feel even better. Let's make it look even more one-sided. If this was like the American League, these extra rounds would matter because then it'd get like 7.37 points out of the official or some bizarre stuff like that. Whatever. Uber's coming through 1. What's happening, Bum? Are they owning?
It looks like they're owning. They got 3 kills. They're about to get 4 kills. Never mind. Yeah, they got 4 kills. Gazi's going to stand on the point. He got 5 kills.
Gazi's good. He's quite good.
That's
God,
6
he's
kills.
good. He's good though, isn't he?
He's pretty good. Yeah, I'd say so.
Damn. That's ridiculous. It's so sad watching scouts just bully other players, man.
Well,
all right.
It's definitely it. Definitely it. We might as well get going on shoutouts before we even see the logs eepily. Like, this is so over.
More Alexi's on the demo man. Top Premiership demo man has put 6 stickies on choke. Don't think anything's happened, and he dies. There you go. Rec post LFT next season. Nasboy on sniper. Does he hit a shot with his weird mouse thingy? I want to see it. I want to see it happen.
Gaz just hit a nice reflect air shot flare onto a guy. I don't even know. That was some definite hubber stuff.
I'm watching Nasboy. Go get him, buddy. He's trying. No. Well, yeah. This is the end of our top prem official. This is going to be tf2easy taking the 6 points and firmly securing themselves as second seed going into playoffs here. So there
By
you
the
go.
way,
Kind of expected.
I want to say Auto hit 99 points on both maps, but neither of them did he get the 100. So close, yet so far.
That's sad, man. That's sad. I will say, you know, honorary shout out to you boy Stuffed for murking. You know, he had his troubles. I'll be real, but also pretty sure this is the first game he's ever played in Prem.
Yeah,
So,
I think
you know,
definitely is the first game he's ever played in Prem. And it's fine. I mean, at the end of the day, this official doesn't matter very much at all, because there's going to be a rematch of it in a week or two when playoffs comes around. These teams are going to have to face each other again. That's when it really matters. So maybe Death and Destruction can hard demo review, make like 10 gimmick strategies that they can hard counter tf2easy with, and it'll be a complete different story come playoffs.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, we're gonna probably wrap things up pretty quickly. Before we do that, for those people obsessed with numbers, bam, here's the numbers on your screen. Blake got some numbers. Look at him. God, he's crazy.
Yeah,
Wow.
there's definitely numbers. Flick's numbers
Wow.
are bigger than the other numbers, as you
Yeah.
said.
So that means that he's legally allowed to blame his team and be really toxic.
Yeah, he can cry a lot about this game, and it's fine.
That is how TF2 works. Yeah. Actually, no. In fact, I'm gonna shout out the numbers of Death and Destruction won 6 out of their 7 mid fights.
Wow, that's a lot to be said for getting one round as well. We saw a very similar thing earlier in the season with Verdas Listis Doof. They destroyed then Backyard Boys on every mid fight. They pretty much took every mid fight in the entire game, got one round or got 0 rounds. And what Kunu put it down to is he thinks that the teams are basically counter-stratting their mids, but then don't know like the stock TF2 that it takes to win the rest of the round. I don't know. Maybe it's that. Maybe TF2easy just suck at mid fights and they don't know it yet. But whatever.
Maybe.
At the end of the day, they're winning the games. But yeah, well done to Death and Destruction for getting all the mids.
Commiserations for getting none of the points.
Absolutely.
It is what it is. Okay. Yeah, I think that's going to be us wrapping things up. I think is that the last prime official of the main season. There's no others happening later, is there? Oh no, there is. There's one more of Germans versus Mandem at some point,
which
maybe?
was played yesterday.
Was that played yesterday?
And they have not submitted the results. So this is our
terrible.
last regular season. So I guess we can give you a playoffs rundown. So first seed, obviously going to be Witness Gaming, formerly Ascent, formerly Evil Guys, formerly every org under the sun in EUTF2. Second seed is TF2easy. Third, Death and Destruction. And fourth is Forskings, just about taking that fourth slot, I believe.
Yes. That sounds right. That sounds right to me. But yeah, I mean, in fairness, if you want to keep on top of things, what you should do is go to teamfortress.tv at some point in the next few days, and presumably match pages will be uploaded and attached, and I don't know, whatever Tumtum does in order to make you look at them, and we'll be bringing you all of that playoff coverage then, you know? Bum. Any shout outs, any love you want to spread to the world. I know you're just a lovely guy. Who do you want to share your passion for life with?
Oh, I'm just a lovely, lovely guy. Shout out to, shout out to everyone, bro. Like, peace and love.
Damn, that's real. Shout out to the concept of breakfast.
You're
We'll
a
be
weird guy.
catching you all next time. Goodbye.